Hey, good morning, everybody. What's going on? It's Brian at Frams Cam. Sorry about my voice. I'm trying to get over the stomach bug. I do want to apologize to everybody. We were not able to ship out this week. There is some nasty backups in Memphis and Indianapolis. I guess there's a lot of ice storms and things going on that they told us not to ship. So everybody understood. I know it's disappointing. It's disappointing for us too. We want you to get your cams, guys. Trust me. I could use some more cage space as always. So I totally get it. But we want to make sure you get your cams safe. We don't want to take any risk if there's no reason to. I know it's a little disappointing. This time of the year it gets a little hard here once in a while with storms and everything, but we got to do what's right for those animals. So I'm glad everybody understood. I know, like I said, it's disappointing, but we will get them out there as fast as we can to you. We just want to make sure you get them safe. You can see I finished this. The Miss King system's all hooked up. This is so awesome. I love it. We're going to be replacing all this real soon. My cages are on their way, so once they get here, we'll be putting those together as well. I will be selling all these cages, like I said before. I'm going to sell all those 18 by 36s, all those 36 by 24s, and then all these 24 by 48s. So if anybody's local and looking for some cages, DM me. I have some available now, actually, so depending what you're looking for, I might be able to help you out right now. Check out Frams Cams, guys. We have some awesome cams available. We just put a bunch of stuff up. We have Amblobies, Nosy Bays, Ambanjas, half off females. I don't know, guys. You think this cam's gravid? This is definitely a gravid female. See what happens sometimes when you put chameleons together? Magnus did this, actually. He snapped her tail off. I hate when that happens, but guys, that's part of doing some of the breeding. I don't think people realize it doesn't always go very smooth and they're not always nice. I couldn't believe when I saw it. He actually bit her by the tail. She was trying to get away and he bit it right off. I've never seen a cam actually bite a tail off in like one big chomp, but he did. And unfortunate, it does happen once in a while. These cams get beat up a little bit while they're breeding. So just be aware of that, because I think a lot of people don't understand that can happen. You got to keep your eyes on them, because sometimes it can get kind of mean. It can get kind of aggressive. Flash is really bad about doing that. Flash has actually killed a female breeding with them before. I went upstairs literally for 5 minutes to go grab something. By the time I came back, that female was dead at the bottom of the cage. So you guys have to be careful when you're breeding. It doesn't always go so smooth. I think everybody thinks breeding is this really easy thing where you just put two chameleons together, you have eggs, you have babies, and you sell them real easy. If it was only that easy, trust me, I'd be a millionaire by now, but I'm not. And honestly, guys, I know so many people have been DMing me lately about asking me if is it worth getting into, and is it, do you make money? And the answer is you can make money, but you got to put your time in, and you got to have enough cages, and you got to do it correctly, and you can't cut corners. People that are raising chameleons together in cages are doing it wrong. They know they're doing it wrong, but they keep doing it, and I'm not really sure why. Be careful, guys. Don't buy any chameleons that have been raised together up to 5 months. Do yourself a favor. Save a couple extra bucks and buy from a reputable breeder, guys. It's not the way to do it. You're going to get a chameleon that's been stressed out his whole life. You're going to get a chameleon that hasn't been eating correctly. You're going to get a chameleon probably with a nipped tail, or even worse, missing limbs. You got to be careful, guys. There's too many people taking shortcuts, and they think they're breeders because they have a cute name, but this is why Carol and I got into it. It aggravates us that people are willing to take shortcuts to try to make quick money. And that's not what we're about here at Frams Cams, guys. I promise you that. Carol and I have full-time jobs. We don't need this to support our lives. We do this because we love doing it. We want to make sure you guys are getting the most healthiest chameleons possible. This is what it's all about. Carol and I got into this because we realized how many people were doing it wrong, and we're like, you know what, we can do this right. We have a couple extra bucks saved up. We ended up putting way more money into this than we thought we were going to. I had a budget of $15,000 to get into this, and it wasn't even close to enough to do it. And I'm not saying everybody has to have this. because I know this is a lot. But if you're going to raise a few clutches a year, and there's 20 to 30 babies in a clutch, let's say, you have to have 20 or 30 little baby cages to raise them up in. You don't put them in a bigger cage and say, oh, I'll just put 4 and 5 together. That's not the correct way of doing it. If anybody wants to argue with me about it, bring it on. I'm here. I can tell you from experience, I can tell you from others people's experience, I am guilty of it. When I first got into this, I was told by breeders that I really thought I could trust and believed in them, and they're like, oh yeah, you can raise them in these bins, let's just say. See these bins, they're empty. I'll never put chameleons in a bin again. It's not the correct way of doing it. You shouldn't be raising them together. I can tell you from experience, you will not have as healthy babies. I've done it. I've been successful doing it, but I can tell you from experience, they're not as healthy. They don't grow as fast. They don't do as well. They literally grow twice as fast when you individually raise them. They're not stressed. They're not fighting over food. I'm just walking around showing the room, guys. I want you to see what we're doing. I want you to see how we individually raise every single chameleon. We don't have any chameleons together in a cage. Even all our veileds, guys, are individually raised. Now, do I make any money on veileds? I usually lose money on veileds, but this is the correct way of doing it. You can see this one nailing some black soldier fly larvae. It's a black soldier fly larva day. We switch our food up here. We do silkworms, we do crickets, we do dubias. You know, we do a lot of silkworms. We switch it up. That's another reason why. Make sure you're buying from somebody that's actually feeding them correctly. Make sure they're giving them the right supplements. Make sure they got the right UVB. I literally saw the other day somebody raising 4 chameleons in a I think it was I want to say it was a 16 by 30 cage. 4 5-month-olds with a coil bulb over it. That drives me nuts. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna call these people out, but it drives me nuts. So just do some homework before you buy a cam, guys. These are expensive, and you should get what you're paying for. There's just too many people cutting corners. And honestly, at this point, it's just honestly driving me crazy, because if you can't afford to do it, you probably shouldn't get into it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is very expensive, to the point where me and Carolyn almost backed out a few times, because we were $40,000 on a home equity doing this in the beginning, because our $15,000 budget was not even close to enough. I actually pulled money on my house to do this. Not this house, my old house when we first started. And I had to pay that all back. And I'm telling you right now, that was not easy. You know, we didn't really make any money for the first 3 years. We were actually losing money, especially with what the cost of bugs are. You know, like right now, I ordered crickets and I haven't got them yet. So I'm pretty much sure I'm going to be out $300, $400 on this next cricket order. I don't think I'm going to get them alive at this point. Dumb on me, I wasn't paying attention and still ordered crickets thinking they would get here. They're still stuck in Memphis. They've been stuck in Memphis since Tuesday. Today's Thursday. Maybe I'll get them tomorrow, but are they going to be alive? I don't know. It all depends where they have them in Memphis. I've been told that these holding areas are not as warm as we think they are. So I don't know. Fingers crossed I get some alive. If they don't, we're going to be feeding a lot of black soldier fly larvae and silkworms. I have enough crickets probably to get through Sunday, so we'll be okay. I always make sure I have enough bugs just in case this happens. But you do got to prepare yourself right now for winter, guys. You got to make sure you have enough bugs. You know, we do raise a lot of our own dubias, silkworms. I get a good amount of black soldier fly larvae a month, just in case this happens. But you know, I can't go back to Gond and say, hey, are you going to credit me back? It's not their fault, you know. So it is what it is. It's just part of doing this. But if you guys have questions, please let me know. I'm just here to help you guys. I'm not trying to bash anybody about breeding or anything. I'm not. I'm just telling you, when you're buying a chameleon, be careful who you're buying from. Make sure they're individually raised. We individually raise all our chameleons. You're not going to see 2 chameleons in any of our cages. This is why I bought all these cages, so I can individually raise them. Now, they will be moving up, so I cannot wait till I get my next batch of cages. The next batch of cages are a little bigger. They're, well, I should say that they're quite a bit bigger. They're 16 by 24s. And at 5 months old, 4 months old, they will be getting into those. But these are all sold. These are all going out. They were supposed to, most of these go out this week. But you can see how good they are. They're thriving, guys. They're not stressed. They're eating good. Look at this. I mean, this is a beautiful chameleon. There's no marks on it. You got a full tail. You're not going to have those issues if you're doing it correctly. If you're trying to cut corners, you're going to have some issues. It's just part of it, but you're also going to get a chameleon that's been stressed out and fighting for food and competing. And more likely, they're going to be meaner, or they're not going to breed because it's going to be one or the other. Most of the time I've ever gotten a chameleon, I find out that they've been raised together, they won't breed. They just lose that aggression. They lose it all because they've always been together with other chameleons. So anyways, I don't want to go on and on about it. I just want you guys to get what you're paying for. I want to make sure people are honest with you. Make sure you do some homework before you buy a chameleon from someone. Make sure they're licensed, guys. Make sure they got a website. You want all those things to make sure if something happens, you can back yourself up on it. There's too many people getting screwed. I can tell you that right now. It's bad right now. I'm getting screwed even with my website. Luckily, I'm protected with Shopify for fraud, but let me tell you, it's been 5 times in the last 3 months that people have been using other people's credit cards. So just be careful, guys, out there. If somebody's asking you for friends and family, just run. Run, 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 run. If people want to give me friends and family because they trust me, I don't mind. I'll take it because it saves me quite a bit of money. And there's people that I do it with too that I trust. But I can tell you right now, be careful out there, guys. There is so much fraud going on. Protect yourself. Make sure these people are licensed. Make sure they got a website, something. And like I said, it's so easy to get a name and just call you some cutesy chameleon name. I mean, obviously my name means nothing. What the hell is Fram's Cams, everybody asks. My daughter came up with that name while we were eating dinner one night. She's like, they call me Frammy when I was in high school. La Framboys is my last name. Fram, that was my nickname as well, Frammy. So she said, Fram's Cams. And I'm like, you know what, that's kind of cute. It rhymes. It means nothing. People don't even understand it, so I guess I'm telling you guys now that don't know. But that's why we have Fram's Cams. It's just my last name. Everybody called me Fram as a nickname. Everybody had a nickname, I guess. So it kind of just stuck. People still, that I see from years ago, still call me Fram or Frammy. All my good friends still call me Fram. My stepkids call me Fram. It's just a name that stuck, and that's where Fram's Cams come from. But you can, like I said, you can get yourself a cute name and it makes you sound like you know what you're doing, but to do this right, it takes a lot of money, guys. Trust me when I tell you. And I'm not trying to brag that, oh, look we have money and we can do this correctly. This took us years, guys, since 2014. We didn't do this overnight. We put all our money back into this and kept putting our money back into the business. I don't pull much money out of this business. It usually all goes back in. I just spent $15,000 on almond cages. That's a lot of chameleons I got to sell to pay 15 grand. The lights cost me $7,800 to do all new lights in this room. So how much money is that now? We're at 20 something grand. And then all new racks. These were about $100 each. I put most of our money back into the business because we enjoy this. This is our hobby. If I was doing this because I needed the money, I don't know if I would enjoy it anymore, because I would have to start looking at my cost and trying to cut costs down, and I would have to try to figure a way where I can make more money. I'm not doing this for the money, guys. I promise you that. Not that it matters if I was, but I'm doing it because I want you guys to get the healthiest chameleons possible, and it's something Carolyn and I really, really, truly enjoy doing together. Life can get boring. Before we were doing this, Carolyn and I was literally just sitting on the couch binge watching TV all the time. That's all we were doing. We couldn't afford to go out and do a ton of things, so we were just binge watching Netflix. We started looking into chameleons. I should say Carolyn was. We went to a reptile show. We saw a panther chameleon. She went home and did so much research, and we got our first one. And then it just turned into something that we both enjoyed. And I don't know how many years now. I don't know. I think it was 13 or 14 when we first got our first cam. So God, that's almost 10 years. So yeah, and now this is where we're at, and we're not going anywhere. We're going to keep growing because we enjoy doing this. We want to make sure you're getting the healthiest chameleons possible, and you know, we hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you enjoy that we show our room off a little bit here and there. I do this so you guys can see. I'm not hiding anything. I want to make sure you see how we're actually doing our room, because this is the way it should look like, guys. This is the way you should raise them up. Again, I love you guys. Talk to you soon, and if you guys need anything, please reach out. We're always here to help you guys.